Emotions are not enemies to fight, they are languages waiting to be understood. Welcome to Wellness Within USA. In this journey, we'll explore the art of emotional intelligence, EI, the ability to recognize, understand, and master the language of emotions. Together, we'll uncover how emotional intelligence transforms relationships, strengthens leadership, and unlocks inner peace. Story-driven introduction. Imagine walking into a crowded room. Words are spoken, but beneath them lies another conversation, the silent language of emotions. A smile hides worry, a sigh carries exhaustion, a pause reveals hesitation. Emotional intelligence is the skill of hearing this hidden dialogue, both in yourself and in others. Suspense builds when you realize, mastering emotions is not about controlling them, but about understanding their message. Understanding emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to navigate emotions with awareness and skill. Self-awareness, recognizing your own emotions. Self-regulation, managing emotional reactions. Empathy, understanding others' emotions. Social skills, building strong, authentic connections. Suspense element, the thrill lies in realizing emotions are not weaknesses, they are guides. Narrative example. Ali, a manager, struggled with conflicts in his team. He often reacted with frustration. But when he began practicing emotional intelligence, pausing to recognize his feelings, listening empathetically to his team, and responding calmly, the conflicts transformed into collaboration. His leadership grew stronger, not because he suppressed emotions, but because he understood them. Daily practices to build emotional intelligence. The pause, before reacting, pause and ask, what am I feeling? Emotion journal, write down emotions daily to recognize patterns. Empathy lens, imagine how others feel before responding. Active listening, focus not just on words, but on tone, pauses, and expressions. Suspense lies in realizing how these small practices unlock deeper understanding. The hidden enemy, emotional blindness. Emotional blindness whispers, emotions don't matter. Emotional intelligence replies, emotions are the language of connection. The thrill is discovering that ignoring emotions weakens relationships, while understanding them strengthens bonds. Lifelong impact. Emotional intelligence doesn't just help in conversations, it shapes identity, health, and leadership. Emotional wellness, self-awareness reduces stress. Health, emotional regulation lowers blood pressure. Relationships, empathy deepens trust. Leadership, emotional intelligence inspires loyalty and innovation. Suspense builds when you realize emotional intelligence is the hidden key to thriving in every area of life. Real-life story. Fatima, a teacher, faced students struggling with anxiety. By practicing emotional intelligence, listening deeply, validating feelings, and responding with empathy, she created a safe classroom environment. The thrill was not just her students' success, but the emotional trust she built. Lifelong journey. Emotional intelligence is not about escaping emotions. It's about living fully, with awareness, empathy, and connection. The ultimate suspense lies in discovering that emotions were never obstacles, they were guides, waiting to be understood. The journey continues. Imagine the crowded room from part 1. Emotions are flowing silently, joy, fear, frustration, hope. Without emotional intelligence, these signals are missed. But with practice, you begin to hear the hidden language. Each tool is like a translator, helping you decode emotions and respond wisely. Practice 1, the pause. Emotional intelligence begins with awareness. The pause is your first tool. How to practice, when emotions rise, pause. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Suspense element, at first, the pause feels awkward. But slowly, it becomes a doorway to clarity. Science, pausing activates the prefrontal cortex, helping you respond instead of react. Story, a manager paused before reacting to criticism. That pause turned anger into understanding. Practice 2, the emotion journal. Journaling is the mirror that reveals emotional patterns. How to practice, write down emotions daily. Note triggers, intensity, and responses. Suspense element, the thrill lies in realizing emotions follow patterns you can understand. Science, journaling improves self-awareness and emotional regulation. Story, a student tracked her emotions during exams. She discovered fear was strongest before studying, not during the test. Awareness changed her preparation. Practice 3, the empathy lens. Empathy is the bridge between hearts. How to practice, imagine how others feel before responding. Ask, what might they be experiencing? Suspense element, the thrill lies in realizing empathy transforms conflicts into connection. Science, empathy activates mirror neurons, deepening social bonds. Story, a teacher used empathy to understand a disruptive student. She discovered the child was struggling at home. Compassion replaced punishment. Practice 4, active listening. Listening is more than hearing words, it's decoding emotions. How to practice: focus on tone, pauses, and expressions. Repeat back what you hear. Suspense element: the thrill lies in realizing silence often speaks louder than words. Science: active listening improves trust and reduces misunderstandings. Story: a nurse listened deeply to patients. Their trust grew, and healing became faster. Practice 5, emotional reframing. Reframing is the art of changing perspective. How to practice: when emotions feel overwhelming, ask, what else could this mean? Suspense element: the thrill lies in realizing emotions are not fixed, they can be reshaped. Science: reframing reduces stress and strengthens resilience. Story: an entrepreneur reframed fear of failure as excitement for growth. His confidence soared. Open book real-life story, narrative style. Consider Aisha, a young professional. She struggled with workplace conflicts and self-doubt. By practicing pausing, journaling, empathy, listening, and reframing, she rewired her emotional responses. The thrill was not just her success, but her transformation into a leader who inspired others. The hidden enemy: emotional blindness. Emotional blindness whispers, emotions don't matter. Emotional intelligence replies, emotions are the language of connection. Suspense builds when you realize ignoring emotions weakens relationships, while understanding them strengthens bonds. Lifelong impact. Daily emotional intelligence practices are not quick fixes. They are seeds planted in the mind. With consistency, they grow into awareness, empathy, and connection. Emotional wellness: pausing reduces stress. Resilience: journaling strengthens confidence. Relationships: empathy deepens bonds. Leadership: listening inspires trust. Identity: reframing reshapes self-belief. The suspense lies in discovering that emotional intelligence is built one small act at a time. The transformation. Imagine waking up one day and realizing emotions no longer control you, you understand them. The critic's voice is faint, while the empathetic voice is strong. That transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens through daily pauses, journals, empathy, listening, and reframing. The thrill is discovering that the person you once doubted, yourself, has become fluent in the language of emotions. The inner shift. Imagine the crowded room once more. The voices of frustration, fear, and doubt are still present, but something has changed. You pause, listen, and suddenly you hear the hidden language beneath the words. A sigh is no longer just noise, it's exhaustion. A smile is no longer just politeness, it's hope. This is the thrill of transformation, when emotional intelligence turns confusion into clarity, distance into connection, and silence into understanding. Psychological shifts through emotional intelligence. Clarity in chaos: emotions that once felt overwhelming now appear as signals guiding your response. Reduced anxiety and stress: emotional awareness lowers cortisol, helping you stay calm under pressure. Resilient identity: you begin to see yourself not as reactive, but as intentional and empathetic. Suspense element: imagine standing in the middle of conflict, voices raised, tension high, yet feeling calm, as if emotional intelligence itself became your shield. Practical impact in daily life. Emotional intelligence spills into every corner of life. Workplace: leaders who practice EI resolve conflicts faster and inspire loyalty. Relationships: couples who embrace EI communicate better and grow stronger. Health: emotional regulation improves sleep, lowers blood pressure, and strengthens immunity. Research insight: studies show that emotionally intelligent individuals report greater happiness, stronger problem-solving skills, and deeper life satisfaction. Suspense element: the hidden shift. At first, emotional intelligence feels like effort, pausing, journaling, listening, reframing. But then, subtle changes appear. You pause naturally before reacting. You notice hidden emotions in others. You feel connected to the present moment. The thrill lies in realizing transformation is happening quietly, beneath the surface, like roots growing deep before a tree blossoms. Social ripple effect. Emotional intelligence doesn't just change individuals, it changes communities. Schools: students who practice EI show higher focus and lower bullying. Hospitals: patients treated by emotionally intelligent staff recover faster. Workplaces: teams with EI culture innovate more and burn out less. Suspense builds when you realize emotional intelligence could be the hidden key to a stronger, more compassionate society. Case example. Consider Ahmed, a corporate manager. His team faced constant deadlines and conflicts. By practicing emotional intelligence, pausing, listening, and empathy, he noticed morale improve, meetings became calmer, and conflicts resolved faster. The thrill was not just his transformation, but the ripple effect on everyone around him. Long-term transformation. Emotional intelligence doesn't just change moods, it changes identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who rises after setbacks, adapts to challenges, and inspires others. Identity shift, you no longer define yourself by reactions. Leadership growth, you lead with empathy and adaptability. Community impact, your emotional intelligence sparks transformation in those around you. Suspense lies in realizing that emotional intelligence is contagious, your practice inspires others to grow stronger. The emotional intelligence paradox. Here's the paradox: emotional intelligence doesn't erase emotions. Anger, fear, and sadness will still exist. The suspense lies in realizing that AI changes how you experience those emotions. Stressful events lose their power, and understanding becomes your default state. Real-life story. Fatima, a nurse, faced exhausting shifts. By practicing emotional intelligence, pausing, mirror affirmations, and listening deeply, she noticed reduced burnout and deeper patient trust. The thrill was not just her recovery, but the healing environment she created for others. Future of emotional intelligence. Technology is now part of AI transformation. Apps, guided journaling makes AI practice accessible. Virtual retreats, online communities support global AI growth. AI tools, personalized AI journeys track progress. Suspense lies in imagining a future where emotional intelligence is as common as physical exercise, a global movement toward emotional wellness. Lifelong journey. Emotional intelligence mastery is not about escaping emotions. It's about living fully, with awareness, empathy, and connection. The ultimate suspense lies in discovering that strength was never outside you, it was hidden within, waiting to be uncovered. With advanced practices, long-term benefits, and lifestyle integration, emotional intelligence becomes a lifelong journey. Stress will always exist, but with mastery, you can always find understanding in uncertainty. The path to mastery. Emotional intelligence begins with small acts, pausing, journaling, listening, reframing. But mastery means weaving these practices into your identity. It's no longer something you do, it becomes who you are. Imagine waking up and realizing your first thought is not confusion but clarity, not fear but empathy. That shift is mastery. Advanced practices for emotional intelligence. Mindful reflection, spend 10 minutes daily reviewing moments of emotional awareness. Ask, did I understand my emotions today? Perspective shifting, consciously view others' emotions as signals, not threats. Suspense lies in realizing how differently conflicts appear when seen through empathy. Silent observation, practice observing emotions without judgment. Notice their voice, then let them fade. Compassion training, extend emotional intelligence outward, to strangers, colleagues, even those who challenge you. Case example, a leader practicing mindful reflection discovered that his frustration was masking fear. By shifting perspective, he transformed his leadership style. Long-term benefits. Emotional intelligence mastery reshapes identity, health, and relationships. Resilient identity, you begin to see yourself as someone who thrives through awareness. Health, emotional regulation lowers blood pressure, strengthens immunity, and improves sleep quality. Relationships, long-term EI deepens trust, intimacy, and cooperation. Leadership, leaders with high EI inspire loyalty and innovation. Research insight, studies show that emotionally intelligent individuals consistently report stronger adaptability and higher life satisfaction. Suspense element, the ultimate twist. Here's the twist: emotional intelligence doesn't erase emotions. Anger, fear, and sadness will still exist. The suspense lies in realizing that EI changes how you experience those emotions. Stressful events lose their power, and understanding becomes your default state. Emotional intelligence as a lifestyle. Mastery means EI is no longer a ritual, it's your way of living. At work, you lead with empathy and patience. At home, you listen deeply, creating stronger bonds. In society, you contribute to a calmer, more compassionate world. Suspense builds when you realize emotional intelligence could be the hidden key to transforming not just individuals, but entire communities. Case example. Fatima, a doctor, faced constant emergencies. By integrating emotional intelligence into her daily routine, journaling before surgeries, empathy during shifts, listening to patients, she noticed reduced burnout and deeper patient trust. The thrill was not just her recovery, but the ripple effect on her hospital environment. Future of emotional intelligence. Technology is now part of EI mastery. Apps, guided journaling and EI reminders make practice accessible. Virtual retreats, online communities support global EI growth. AI tools, personalized EI journeys track progress and provide feedback. Suspense lies in imagining a future where emotional intelligence is as common as physical exercise, a global movement toward emotional wellness. Lifelong journey. Emotional intelligence mastery is not about escaping emotions. It's about living fully, with awareness, empathy, and connection. The ultimate suspense lies in discovering that strength was never outside you, it was hidden within, waiting to be uncovered. With advanced practices, long-term benefits, and lifestyle integration, emotional intelligence becomes a lifelong journey. Stress will always exist, but with mastery, you can always find understanding in uncertainty. If this video inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to Wellness Within USA, share it with friends, and comment below how emotional intelligence is shaping your journey. Together, we can build a global community of empathy, awareness, and emotional strength.